Howdy, folks. All right, it's a new day. Got little Betty flip-flopped around into Bay 1 yesterday. Kitties were fed early, 2 or 3 hours ago. Gave them a chance to eat. Now they're taking refuge up on their perch. Let's get some lights on and go taking this intake apart. I'm not going to bore you with all the details of that. If you want to see that in a video, there's several videos out there that deal with mechanicking. Like I said, I'm not a mechanic. I don't do how-tos. I'm a tinkerer, fabricator. I'm not a mechanic. I don't particularly enjoy mechanicking. I know that may sound counterintuitive for somebody who's building a truck, but anyway, here we go. As you can see, there's that heater scattered all over my work table, fab table. Has a side mission. I'm gonna make it a point of trying to have this table completely empty by the end of this video. Don't know it's gonna actually happen, but we'll see. Like I said, there's the kitties, if you can see them, hiding on their perch. There's Sissy's ears, and George is laying behind her. And if I don't make too much noise, they may stay up here and sleep all day. All righty, back to little Betty. Like I said, I'm not going to bore you with pulling all that crap off the top of the engine, but we'll get all that off of there. I may come back for something interesting to show. Get all that stuff off of there. Maybe I can get in there and do some cleanup on that firewall. Anyway, back to it. Okay, new day. Finished putting the intake back on last night. It actually fired up, so it's not too mad, I can guess. Let's finish picking up tools and we'll get back on this fan shroud. That's what we're supposed to be working on anyway. All right, I've already picked up some of these tools, but like any project, I got every wrench known to man dug out, it seems like. If you don't get too dizzy, I got crap scattered everywhere. While I was putting that back together, I tidied up some of the wiring, got that running a little bit better. For an old throw-together truck, I'm still fairly particular about aesthetics. And sometimes even the factory don't run wiring harnesses and stuff to get them to lay right. Anyway, we get these tools picked up. We'll go find some material and start working on this fan. Hey, that looks a lot better. I just cleaned the lens on my phone. All right, that's got that shroud mocked up roughly where I want it. Like I said before, it's about 1.5 inches off the radiator. And it sets off center because the engine sets off center in here. But it looks like I'm gonna have to come off of this frame back about 1.5 inches and over about 3 on this side. But that's got that moved back far enough that I've got the fan completely encapsulated in the shroud. I believe that's where it's supposed to run. Getting that thing to stay put for mock-up so I can take pictures of it was kind of like a one-armed pirate wrestling an octopus, but I think right there you can kind of get the picture. I think in the back lot I've got a piece of aluminum with just about the right patina on it. Let's go shopping. All right, let's get around back here and see what we can find. Off to the back lot. The piece of material I'm looking for used to be part of that signage right there. Extension of that brown right there. I think there's a leftover chunk of that out here that I won't have to completely fabricate this piece. I can just do some whittling on and see if it's still where I think it is. it is, that piece of red. But that's nowhere near big enough to go all the way around that radiator. I need at least 8 feet. I could probably do the sides with this, and if I get real creative, yeah. Well, drag this back around there instead of a break. See where we can get. I've overthought and second guessed this thing to death. Let's bend some metal. Let's get these side rails out of here, and or at least this one, and see if we can get something that we can actually bolt at least one side of that shroud down to, and as long as that thing's floating in space, I ain't never gonna know for sure. So we'll either get her fixed up or get it screwed up so bad nobody can fix it up. How's that? And if I wasn't being contrary and lazy, I'd just take the radiator plumb out. I've kind of drawn an imprint of where the fan should meet the opening in the shroud, and yes, it is off-centered. But I don't want to take the radiator out. In the long run, it'd probably save me a lot of time and aggravation to do it that way. So, some might say stubborn, some might say lazy, and I might say mind your own business. I don't know. Whatever. Anyway, that's the way I'm doing it because it's my toy. All right. I marked the top of this, even with the top of the radiator, so I know where to start my shroud at. Let's take this over here to the table and start slicing and dicing. Oh, I love that automatic swivel. Hope that didn't make your head fall off. Now then, I told you out in the lot that I need 8 foot of material. This piece that I've got is just a hair over 5 foot long. But if I split it right down the middle, and I'll have 10 feet of material that I can slice, dice, and destroy. One of these days, maybe I'll get a helper that knows how to operate a camera and an actual camera. That's not today, though. Today it's just me glomming around and making a mess and keeping myself entertained if nobody else anyway. All right, I'm gonna shut you off and go find a grinder and lay this piece out. Split it right down the middle-ish. Be back in a minute. All right, now I had Ray Charles do some layout for me. I'm gonna see if old Tommy Tourette's can get this cut nice and jagged, and we'll proceed on. If you don't want to spend a lifetime saying huh like I do, wear ear protection when you do shit like that. All right. So you don't think I'm a total caveman, I'll show you that I am actually going to deburr this. Because that stuff is like a razor blade. Well, after a couple hours of whittling and fussing and pulling in and out and back and forth, I finally got this thing down in here and held in place enough to start building my shroud. Turn you around here so you can see. Okay, got her mocked up in there and she's holding still. So make myself seasick here. I think I already showed you this, but I made a couple of temporary brackets to help hold things in place. And I've done some more slicing and dicing. I got it in there. Look at there. Well, no, I said that, and it ain't gonna set put. Anyway, we're gonna go over here. We've got the brake set back up. Let's see if I can pull that off of my toes while I bend up a couple of cheek pieces. See if we can get something that looks similar to a 90-degree bend in this stuff. Go over and do a test fit. I think I ought to try to clamp that down somehow or another before I pull it off on my toes. These days I'm gonna build a stand for this damn thing. In the meantime, I just set it on my car lift. That's probably plenty good for what I'm gonna do. All right, let's pull this temporary bracket out of here and see what kind of mess we got going on. Yeah. I think I like it. To the ground. Let's put us a Cleco clamp on that thing, and since I don't have a hole in it yet, use one of these handy dandy Cleco clamping devices. I can get on my fingers and toes. Go to the ground, damn it. Like I said, if I can get on my fingers and toes to cooperate, at the same time, we'll clamp this up here and have a look at it. Right there on the mark. All righty, right there. These are another one of those, and that's all I got. Where's the other ones at? Oh, crap. Okay, I've only got 2 or 3 of those, and apparently I've used them up. Here's one, still one here. Maybe. Don't fall apart. Alrighty, turn that around, put that right about like this. Stand back and have a look at that. I think, by golly, go to punching some holes and drilling and make that a permanent fixture. What you think? It ain't pretty, but they ain't supposed to be pretty. It's just supposed to be functional. I like it. All I gotta do is build another one. Go ahead and drill that out, and I'll put a Cleco in that hole. There we go. Now then, we can get rid of that clamp and put a temporary rivet Cleco back in there. All right, that freed that up. Now then, Now then. All right. Guess while I'm here, oh, quit overthinking it, pork chop. Just build the damn thing. Just build it already. All right. For what it's worth, there's one side in and mocked up. And at some point I need to trim the top of this and make a hat for it. And I will probably replace those screws with pop rivets. But for now, that side is secure. I still got to go down and connect the bottom down there because it's still hitting. You probably can't see that down in there, but yeah, where I've sliced and diced that the other day, I've got to tie that back together. You see it's hitting on that clamp. I got to pull that back together and get this side fastened down and get that tied together, and we'll probably run it like that for now. I just had a brainstorm. And since there isn't anybody here to tell me you can't do this way, I'm gonna give it a shot. I heard somebody call this plastic thermoplastic one time, so let's see how thermal it is. See if I can burn my fingers too. I guess when it gets shiny, it means it's getting hot, right? Well, the shinier it gets, the less resistance it has. So it's going down. Now the trick will be, will it stay there? If I can get this bent over, it'll make it a lot easier to fill that gap. I won't have to make so much of a hat. I wasn't really digging the idea of what this is going to look like anyway. All right, let's let that cool for a minute and see if it'll stay there. And yes, I'm making this up as I go. I told you I didn't know what I was doing. We learned something new. If this works, it'll be a new trick. All right, I let that cool off, but looky there. That's right down there where I want it. Looks like I got some wood on the radiator. Oh yeah, now instead of having to make a lid to go all the way across there, if that'll stay down, all I gotta make is this little bitty tiny filler piece here, tie into that to hold it, clamp it together right there. I like it, I like it, I like it. That's what I started out with. And that's where I'm at now, right where I need it. That's a beautiful thing. Well, I know it's only been 20 minutes or so for you all, but for me, that's been near all dang day. I'm gonna count this as a success for today at least. And button this up and go put my feet up. I'll come back in the morning and finish up some more of that and pick up my collection of tools that I've got scattered all over everything again and start over again, probably on the heater tomorrow. All right. All that being said, thanks for hanging out with me today. We'll come back and do her again. If you liked what you saw or found me entertaining, not educational, just entertaining. If you found me entertaining, come back and like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we'll see what we can get into next.